Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in Team Forbidden's YouTube page again. I am Andrew the Collector here with a deck that I took to YCS Pasadena. It is Chainburn. I'm not going to tell you that I didn't do well because I believe I did, because I got, not joking when I say got razor thin with almost going to day 2. I'm talking by like 300 life points. It was against an Altergeist deck. I was able to get him down to 500 life points, but my life points were at 100, and time was called right at that as his battle phase ended, and I lost. But my record is that I won against 1 Trickstar, 2 one Trickstar, 1 Altergeist, 1 Crusadia, 1 Red Eyes, 2 Sky Strikers. That's it. I lost against 2 Trickstars, and I lost against the Altergeist player. So, without further ado, let's get right into it.
Hey, it's the Cyborg. Hello, goodbye.
Alright, so to start out, we got the main man, Inspector Border. This guy is probably the heart and soul, other than obviously the burn cards. He's the reason why I won against the first Altergeist deck, because I dropped this and he basically could only set cards and pass, and I just kept pushing him for game with just this, and for Amano Iwado. Quick tip is that if you have both Inspector Border and Amano Iwado in your hand, summon out the Inspector Border first, and then next turn normal out the Amano Iwado. Since monster effects cannot activate, he will not return to your hand, meaning that he's going to stay out on the field. And now no monster effects can be activated regardless of anything, so yeah. 3 Absolute Backjack. Main combo that I use is that I normal summon him out and I link away for Link Haribo. And when he is sent to the graveyard, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck and rearrange them in any order. And during your opponent's turn, you banish him from your graveyard as cost, so Ghost Spell doesn't hit, can't hit this. You look at the top card of your deck. If it's a normal trap, you can set it automatically, and it can be activated during that turn. I've won so many games with that it's become necessary at 3. And then, courtesy of the Fanatic, 1 Electromagnetic Turtle. This card has saved my ass so many times because I drew with Demise. He would be the last card in my hand, and then I would dump him for the price for card Demise. And then next turn, when my opponent would try to attack me, boom, banish into battle phase. And that's it for the monsters. Really short monster count. It's just so things to help prevent you from like hand traps and monster effects, and things to extend your plays and protection. Obviously, it's Chainburn, back row deck, so 3 card Demise, 3 pod Duality, 2 pod Desires. I gave this card a lot of shit in the past, but I like it in this deck because this deck isn't combo heavy. This card does not do well in combo heavy decks because you can banish a lot of your combo pieces and you're dead in the water. Here, if you banish 3 of a certain card, unless it's like, you know, like Inspector Border or the card Demise, it really doesn't do much. If anything, it helps a lot more than it hurts. Except for when you draw the second one, then it's a pain. Cheap Call by the Grave because it's only at 2, and it helps against hand traps or any other monster effect decks. This is the reason why I won against the Trickstars, because I used this on their Lycoris and it allowed me to push for game. Now on to your opponent loses 1,000 points of damage automatically, so it's really funny when you set 2 of these and then you end turn and then they activate Heavy Storm Duster and they pop and lose 2,000 points of damage, which actually has happened against Altergeist, so that was really funny. 3-Dimensional Wall. I like this card a lot better than Magic Cylinders because, for one, this card does not target and it does not affect the monster in any way. It affects the opponent. So any monsters that are unaffected by card effects or anything, this card still works on because the attack still goes through. Your opponent just loses the life points instead. 2 Bad Luck Blast. It's basically like Blazing Mirror Force, except it targets and it doesn't destroy. And it has the same secondary effect as Secret Blast. When it's destroyed by a card effect, you lose 1,000 points. Your opponent loses 1,000 points of damage. 3 Waboku because you need battle protection, and it's a lot better than Threatening Roar because if your opponent attacks, you activate Dimensional Wall to give them the damage, and if they still have more attacks to push for game, you can activate this still to prevent any more damage. Then 2 Ojama Trio. This one used to not be good when links were first introduced, but I think it's good now, especially with like, you know, Secret Barrel, Just Desserts, and everything, because it adds cards on your opponent's side of the field to increase the damage, effect damage. Plus, it also combos off with Balance of Judgment too. You activate Balance of Judgment and then you chain Ojama Trio. Bam, that's 3 extra cards you're going to draw on top of what you originally were going to. And then 1 Ring of Destruction because Thunder Dragons run around and they can't be destroyed by card effects, so I bumped this down to 2, or bumped this down to 1, excuse me. But it still does damage, so it's always good. Now on to the extra deck. The main ones I use are Linkuriboh for the backjacks. And for Cherry's targets, I have Dante, Isolde, Firewall, fuck this thing, it should be banned, and Makaba, because he's probably the one that I'm most afraid of to go up against in this deck, is the Invoked and Mech Knights. And the rest are just standard extra deck filler for Eater of Millions that I have in my side. Speaking of which, for side, 3 red reboot for Altergeist and back row decks. It's so funny when my opponent sides this in against me, and they try to activate it from hand, paying half their life points, and then I activate red reboot, negating theirs, and they paid half their life points anyway. It's like, oh, you did half my work for me. Push for game. 3 Ghost Reapers for the targets. 3 Eater of Millions because I needed a way to get above cards like Denko Sekka, Titan, and just anything that would be a pain to go up against this deck. Mainly Denko Sekka because they drop a Denko Sekka, and if I don't have a board, an Expector Border or Mono Iwado, then it hurts. So more monsters from my side deck that I can get in helps a lot. Speaking of which, Mattion the Time Lord to break extra Link boards and Thunder Dragon boards. And I'm going to take this card out, Hanawada, because I actually never went up against the FTK. I sided this in for the FTK, but I never went up against it. I think I only went up against one Danger Dark Warrior. Oh, that's the other deck I went against. But I wish this was a Droll Muckbird. I'm going to take this out for Droll Muckbird, just FYI. And then the 3 tokens for the Ojama Trio.
Why are they not Ojama tokens?
Because I don't have fucking Ojama tokens. Anyway, thank you for tuning into our to this video. For those of you who like Chainburn, goody for you. For those who hate Chainburn because it's a trolley deck, fuck you. I like doing it anyway. Yeah. So yeah. If I were to change anything, I would change the Hanawadas for Droll Lockbirds because I never went up against the FTK, and I think that Droll Lockbird would be more flexible, not only against the FTK, but for other decks in general. But yeah, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and we will catch you guys later.